Mr. Sibu Nair.
Hi, good afternoon.
Welcome to our 22nd Inspired Talks. Dear reflectors, we are indeed greatly privileged to have with us Mr. Sibu, a well known Indian American and a very passionate soul. Thank you very much, sir, for accepting our invite. We are honored by your presence.
Thank you.
I request Krishna Ramachandran to welcome and introduce our prestigious guest to us reflectors.
Hi. Good afternoon, dear reflectors. I'm Krishna Ramachandran. I'm being as a UX lead at Reflections. I welcome our esteemed CEO, Ms. Deepa Sarojamal, Usha Chirail,
We
Director.
can't hear you, Krishnan.
Oops.
Yeah, we can hear you actually, Krishna. It's
Okay.
the audibility is.
Okay. So I welcome our esteemed CEO.
No.
Can't you hear?
We can hear you.
We can hear
Maybe.
I
Krishna.
can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Krishna.
So once again, I welcome our esteemed CEO, Ms. Deepa Sarojamal, Usha Chirail, Director, Human Resources, our honored guest, Mr. Sibu Nair, and all my dear reflectors to this 22nd Inspired Talk event. Welcome, Deepa, Usha, Sibu, and all my dear reflectors. A proud Indian American, political nerd, activist, and a community organizer. Born and raised in India, working as a clinical trial administrator in State University of New York. Past 10 years, he has been serving the Western New York community, and he is a committee member of the Erie County and Amherst Democratic Party. It is my honor and privilege to welcome Mr. Sibu Nair to this 22nd Inspired Talk at Reflections. He was always interested in politics, community service, and cultural promotion. Continual communication with like-minded people strengthened his bond and passion for politics, and very quickly he discovered that he had a passion for this work. Today, he works as a liaison for the community, a connection between the communities, Government of India, and local government. Once again, let's give Mr. Sibu Nair a warm welcome to our Reflections family. Reflections is an IT company with a large presence in Australia, India, the US, and Brazil. It has a deep-rooted culture and is dedicated to providing value-added services to its customers. A business that has carved out a place for itself among the industry titans. We have advanced greatly under the capable leadership of Deepa Sarojamal, our beloved CEO, which alone demonstrates our fervent desire to excel. Mr. Sibu Nair, I request you to share with us your experiences and success stories. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank CEO for Reflections, Deepa Sarajamal, Mary Suresh, lead for HR, and Usha Chariel, HR director, for giving this an opportunity to speak with every one of you. So thanks to all the Reflections members. So I was born in Kolkata. My dad was in the Indian Army. Then I moved to Kerala when I was 5 years old. I did my undergrad in Kerala. Then I moved to Mumbai for my master's. There I did my master's in applied biology. I was looking for overseas opportunities, and 2005 I got an opportunity in the US. I traveled to New York as an exchange scholar. I went on a J1 visa. Then I joined University at Buffalo, which is a state university of New York, as a nursing student. My plan was to do my nurse practitioner degree, not as a general nurse, but I just wanted to, I had a passion for serving people. But before I continued my education, I got hired by University of Buffalo Department of Medicine as a clinical trial administrator. That is what I did last 13 years before I got appointed by the New York State governor. So the reason I started getting involved with the community, when I reached US, there was no one to welcome me. There was nobody to walk me through the cultural shock, or when I was looking for resources, there was no one there. A lot of Indians in the US, but not everyone is committed to do community service or helping fellow Indians. I see a lot of students coming to University at Buffalo these days. I'm a faculty at the University at Buffalo. They go through a lot of challenges, mainly when they come to a new place, they don't know what area is a good place to stay, um, whom they can reach out when they go through issues and challenges, mainly landlord issues. There are a lot of crooks out there. They try to manipulate you and try to get you into their apartment. Then you realize that apartment is not what you signed up for. And also, they get into legal issues. They don't know what their rights are. Just because they are on a student visa, they don't want to speak out. They get scared. They think that they will get in trouble. So that's where I started. I started mobilizing people in the community, Indian Americans. I started an airport pickup for students coming to the US, mainly in my town. Usually, they mainly were helping female students because they come in the middle of the night. They don't know where to go. Some of them don't have an apartment right away, so they have to stay with someone else until they get their official apartment. So we pulled in volunteers from the community. This is how it started. I just want to give a brief summary of how I started working for the community. We had enough volunteers. I realized that people are committed, but there was a lack of leadership. There was no one to take the lead for this kind of work. Then that tradition continues every year by August and September when international students come to Buffalo, New York. It's a huge university, comes under State University of New York. And our president is also Indian, actually. He has been there last 10 years, Dr. Satish Tripathi. So we pick up these students, put them in the temporary accommodation for a few days until they get their accommodation. Then when they go through legal issues, immigration issues, we help them out. I have a very good relationship with the Indian consulate and Indian embassy because we do a lot of cultural promotions for India in the US. So this I started in 2005. December I reached the US. 2007 I started this volunteer work. Then I started volunteering for an organization called India Association of Buffalo. We have around 30,000 Indian families live in Buffalo, New York. Not everyone, come out or do things for the community because our community is well off. They're rich. Most of them are physicians, engineers. They're well-educated people. You know how Indian community is overseas. So we started bringing these people together. We started mobilizing them and making sure that they understand the importance of volunteering for our own community. So I became a public relation officer for India Association of Buffalo. I served in the organization a few years. Then I became the president of that organization. So every year we used to do Independence Day and Republic Day for the community. Within the community, we bring people to do cultural shows. We never invited anybody outside the community. We never invited anybody from the political world or any elected official. So it was a very close community. Nobody was ready to shake hands with outside community. So when I became the president, I invited all ethnic groups. I invited those who have a big passion for arts and culture. We asked them to put together cultural shows for the community. We invited political leaders to the event. So that's where it started. So I realized that there are a lot that we can do as a community leader. So from there, we started outreach. Then we appointed somebody in the organization, outreach specialist. Then in 2000, I will go back and give you more information, but I just want to do 2017, we put together a huge festival in the city of Buffalo. It's called Festival of India. No one has seen such festival. Nobody knew what India's culture and arts. So it was in the heart of Buffalo. We had support from the Indian consulate. We had a lot of sponsors. We had around 6,000 members. Not everyone is from the Indian community, but from various communities, African American, Hispanic. Chinese. So people from various groups and the communities joined us for the event. We had many elected officials as well as special invitees. Then, so there is a tenure that you have to step down from the organization or you have to run. But again, I realized there is a huge lack of outreach efforts in the community and in the organization. Then 2018, I formed an organization called CHAI. It's a very unique name, Council of Heritage and Arts of India. There we started more community outreach, making sure communities involved with civic engagement. So we are always minority in the US. So unless we get involved in the political process, we don't have any power. So the power comes when you are in a position to turn around a legislation in your favor or in your community's favor. Until then, we don't have any power. So our organization, not-for-profit 501c3 organization, we don't involve with political endorsement. We don't donate money to the political campaign. Our main goal is to promote arts and culture of India in the US, mainly in Western New York. But now, because of my involvement with the governor, the chai has become very popular across the New York. So I'll come back to the organization again. So I started working for University at Buffalo in 2005 as a clinical trial administrator, where we conducted so many clinical trials, mainly for HIV, hepatitis, infectious disease. Also, I did some kidney transplant trials. So those were phase 2 and phase 3 studies. Those are pretty much approved drug, or they are in the process of getting approved by the FDA. So we knew pretty much all the side effects of the drug. So my work was much easier. So I worked for Department of Medicine. But even though I was doing this 9 to 5 at the university, the rest of the time I was very involved with the community, bringing the community together, not just Indian community, other community, the minority groups, bringing them together, do things together, make sure we have a voice in the political world and also in the community. So because of the work I have done, I'm a Democrat, by the way. I don't know what your political affiliation, even though you are in India, some people have political affiliations. So governor of New York, I knew the governor since probably 2007 because of my political involvement and activities. I knew who she was, but I got a call in 2021 asking, "Do I have something for you? Would you be interested to work for me?" etc. So that was a great honor. I didn't think much. I accepted the job and I left my university job. I still do part-time with the university at Buffalo, 8 hours a week. That is something I have done last 13 years, so I didn't want to completely move away from that. It's a great honor working with the first female governor of New York. So I tell my friends and political leaders that we have a female prime minister in India, but we still don't have a female president in the US. So they really like that story. So I was the reason I accepted that job because she's a female. I'm a feminist. I was so excited to work for a female governor of it's a historic moment, and I accepted the job. It was a great experience so far. I serve as the deputy director for Asian American Affairs for the whole state. I travel a lot. I get an opportunity to meet with Asian leaders, community members, prominent leaders across the Indian diaspora. Not just Indian diaspora, but until I started working for a governor, I didn't even realize how big Asia is. So I meet with all kinds of people. So in simple terms, my job is understand the needs and struggles of Asian Americans across state and bring resources. It's very easy to say, but there are a lot go behind the scene. It could be anything from bringing $100 million to the community for community development, or bringing a proclamation or a citation for one of the events. So I do a lot of stuff. Recently, I started a new project. Ever since COVID started, Chinese community has become a huge target for hate crimes. Because somebody said this came from China, they purposely, exposed people in the whole globe. So from that point, they have been attacked by various groups in public transportation, public places. So I took the lead for a new initiative where we work with New York State Police, take the leadership from the police to the communities, and make sure they get an opportunity to talk to the leaders from the enforcement, what they are going through. I have done few meetings recently. Now, then I had to take a vacation, so I'm going back and continue that um, process again. So, in addition to India Association of Buffalo and Chai, which is my current organization, I serve as an executive director for that organization. I have an executive committee. I have a board of directors where we initiate new cultural activities and networking initiatives in the community. In addition to that, I serve as committee member and also chair for many organizations in the town and the county, and also in the state level. Because of my involvement with the governor, some of the activities I stop because there's a conflict of interest. I cannot be a part of those. So under Chai's initiative, two major accomplishments we have done in Western New York. One of them is building an Mahatma Gandhi monument in my town. So it's an 8-feet monument. We work closely with Indian Consulate, Indian Embassy, and ICCR, which is Indian Council of Cultural Relations. It's based in New Delhi. So we brought the Gandhi monument to US. We worked with the local government and built a Gandhi huge monument there. So the work is still going on. Our plan this year is to put a rose garden around the monument. So it has been 2 years now. So 2023 October 1st would be the third anniversary of Gandhi Jayanti there at the monument. Then we got a cricket ground in our town. We worked with the Erie County Executive, who is a great supporter of the Indian community. So we have a cricket ground. That is the ground officially. A lot of people play there, Indians, Pakistanis, Canadians, British, you name it. So it's we have around 35 to 40 leagues come to our location throughout the summer. Buffalo is, we have extreme winter from end of October to probably mid-April or maybe end of April. We have extreme winter. We get a lot of snow. So we don't have an indoor cricket ground. We are in the process. But for now, summer is pretty busy for the players. And now we are working with the town of, it's called Town of Amherst. I will tell you a little bit about Town of Amherst later because I talked to Deepa and Mary about potential tie-up for technology exchange. So we are working with the town to have a Gandhi Park there. So we might probably bring another monument, huge Gandhi statue there. So we wanted to give an opportunity for the outside community to understand who Mahatma Gandhi is, what he has done, why he's a role model to the whole universe. So those are our potential plans. Then while I was working with the governor, I made sure cricket is getting recognized as a state game. So cricket is the official state game for New York now. So we got that approved by the governor. Actually, Indian Consulate organized an event after the approval. Kapil was invited, so I had an opportunity to stand next to the legend. Governor was invited. Unfortunately, she couldn't join, so I represented the governor. Then we did Diwali, first time in New York State. Governor of New York has officially celebrated Diwali. Then we made sure Ramadan is celebrated in New York State. So while I'm away from New York, my partner in Asian Affairs, we worked together and made sure Lunar New Year has been celebrated in New York. It was done yesterday. So our plan, governor, is all about cultural promotion, making sure we can bring the communities together and keep a religious harmony in the state. So we are working on many other projects. Then in 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2021, 2022 we couldn't do because of the COVID regulations. All for continuously 5 years, we lit up Niagara Falls in Indian flag color on August 15th. And also we lit up Peace Bridge with the bridge which connects US and Canada. We lit up in Tiranga. So those are I consider those as biggest accomplishment. Being away from India, there is always a pushback when you initiate things. We had a lot of objection for the Gandhi Monument, a lot of calls went to the government officials saying don't let the community do this. But again, the leadership definitely see the effort and the positive thoughts why we want to do this. So they were very supportive with the initiative. And also I am an award recipient of Pravasi Bharat Divas 2017 and 2021 for the outstanding work in the Indian diaspora in the US, mainly promoting the Indian culture, heritage, and connecting other communities with the Indian culture and communities. And also I'm involved with many other activities. Those are not under any of the organization's platform, but I do as an individual. I help with immigration issues a lot. I bring immigration lawyers to the community. We put together workshops where some of you might know the H-1B process, L-1 process. L-1 is something that you travel to abroad on a contract basis through your company. H-1 is something that it happens every March, so there is a quota for that visa numbers. So when they don't know whom to talk, how to navigate through the process. So we make sure that we have immigration lawyers coming to the community. It's all free of charge. We don't charge anything for the community, or even the lawyers don't charge. So they walk them through the process, how H-1B can be transitioned to. Some of them are on a not-for-profit H-1B. Not-for-profit H-1B transfer to the profit company could be difficult, but the lawyers, because of their expertise, they know how to do it. Then the green card process, citizenship process. Then I also take the lead for rescuing domestic violence victims a lot. In the South Asian community, there's a huge issue. Nobody wants to talk about it because of a cultural, brought up. So we make sure they are rescued from those homes and finding a place for them to rehabilitate and connecting them with the right resources, police, legal help. Those are the things I do, but I can definitely explain more. But and I take the pride to do this in the community. It's sometimes I feel that it's a thankless job, but at the end of the day, I feel very proud that I can, I'm helping somebody. So because of all this involvement, governor appointed me as the deputy director for Asian American Affairs, and the Democratic Party approached me twice to run for New York State Senate and New York State Assembly, but I politely declined that because I didn't think that was the right time for me to do it. But this time again, party approached me to run for my council member for my town, which is compared to the state Senate and Assembly, it's a small position. And also because of my involvement with the governor, I'm not allowed to run. I have to resign from the job and then I have to run. But I will definitely run if I have an opportunity to run for the state again. So it is just a grooming process. So hopefully someday I will run. So that's my story, but I know I have 40 minutes, but I don't want to take up all those time. It's time for question and answers. I'm happy to share, happy to answer any question in terms of politics, my involvement, and also clinical trials. And also, I'm not a technology person. I can do basic stuff in computer, but and also I would definitely like to help Reflections if I can do anything in the US. Our town, I promised earlier that I will talk a little bit about town of Amherst. So town of Amherst is the second largest town in New York State. Not Buffalo is the second largest town. So Amherst is a small portion of that. The biggest minority group in the town is Indians. We have around 35,000 Indian families. I'm not counting the students on campus. That is probably 800, 900 students. just for masters. Undergrad, we have few, lot of physicians, lot of faculties working in the health sector. I'm one of the faculties for Department of Medicine. So we are not counting those folks, just the community. Some of them are on visa, some of them are green card holders, some of them are citizens. That is probably 30 to 35,000. So now this year we are initiating a new project. We are spearheading a project which is called India Heritage Center. We have a Hindu temple there, we have a mosque, we have all those kind of stuff, but we don't have a place where we can teach our younger generation about the culture, heritage, languages. We are planning to have a multi-purpose auditorium, small museum, few apartments in the back where we can rehabilitate our domestic violence victims. So we are in the process of communicating with the government and funding resources. It is going to be probably $10 to $12 million, but it's a huge project. It takes time. But we hope with the political connections and support from the community and the government, we are hopeful that that can be done. And that is going to be in town of Amherst. So town of Amherst is a vibrant town where politicians have passion to connect with potential business owners and government outside the country. While I was in India, I organized organized a meeting in Indian consulate where our town supervisor traveled to the Indian consulate with three companies. They are potential investors in India. They would like to expand their business in India. It could be manufacturing or technology. I am not sure what those companies do. So Reflection can definitely work with our town. If you have passion to expand to our town, they're really looking to host a technology hub in the town. So I work as a middleman for many projects and many initiatives, making sure that it is getting done. So that's my story. My 9 to 5 is working for the governor. Rest of the time, I'm doing a lot of things. I'm on WhatsApp, Facebook, anytime. If you guys need anything, I'm always there to help. So it's now time for questions. I truly appreciate every one of you for joining the call. And also, I shout out to the leadership for having me today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have enjoyed listening to you. It has been truly inspiring and informative. And I'm sure your message has helped us realize that it is possible to achieve our goals, whatever be the challenge, if we consistently and with determination work towards it. Dear reflectors, it's now time for us to get to know more from sir. What questions may you have for him? I'm sure everyone is ready with their questions. Those who would like to ask a question may put your name in the chat window and I shall call out your name one by one.
And also, before you start the question, I think I missed one point. So I'm the first Indian American getting appointed to this position, and also first Malayali. So
Proud of you.
Proud of
thank
you,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
While they're arranging the questions, how did you make cricket the state game of New York? Didn't the basketballers and the soccer players, didn't they come against you?
So in 2018, we approached the then governor to approve this game. We lobbied with the Senate and Assembly members to put the proposal for the state legislature. Then governor vetoed the project because he came up with an excuse that we need to do research on this game and how this could be a financial burden on the taxpayers' money. So twice he vetoed the project, so we couldn't get through it. Then the third year, the governor was kind enough to, the governor who is my boss now, she was kind enough to approve. We have a lot to do. Our plan was to give more visibility to the game, but now governor brought this game under New York State Sports Council. So at least we have an opportunity to lobby for funding. So there are a lot of small groups across the state, not just Indian, Caribbeans, Pakistanis, Nepalis, Burmese. There are a lot of different groups play this game, but mostly they play game in the apartment complex or public property. It could be a state park or the town park. They don't have any official permission to do the game, and also it is very dangerous. They play tennis ball and leather game. I know leather ball game is the official game of India, but people play with tennis ball and leather ball. So leather ball needs more space, and so we were the first town in Western New York who officially got a ground. And I mean, a lot of lobbying. It's all about who you know, right, in the government. So they were all kind enough to help us with getting this game as an official game of the state. So now there are a lot of groups investing a lot of money to make private grounds where they can rent out space for cricket players. And like I mentioned earlier, we have extreme winter in Western New York, mainly in Buffalo, because we are very close to Canada. I live 30 minutes away from Niagara Falls, so we are towards the north. We get a lot of snow. So also these investors are planning to put indoor cricket grounds and pitches where people can play throughout the year. So the timing was perfect, and the game became the official game.
Got it.
Okay, so we know then. I see your name first. Please ask your question.
Hi, Sibu sir. Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah, it was nice talking to you yesterday. Hope you remember I talked to you. We connected through phone yesterday. Yeah, so it was great talking to you, and I'm very much inspired by hearing what you do for the community over there. And we all recognize the impressive work you have done as a community organizer to strengthen the ties between India and the United States. And we are also aware of your efforts to promote Indian arts and culture in the US. So in the light of this, I will be asking you something like, I will be asking a technology question only, but actually, it's a very simple question. I would like to know what are the new initiatives which are being taken to expand business partnerships and technology between the two countries. And one more is that, additionally, are there incubation centers available for companies in India like Reflections to set up business in the US, especially in your county or maybe in the town of Amherst?
So being a part of the state government, I should be able to help with the business owners from India to connect with the right people. Again, there is a conflict of interest. I cannot favor anyone, because tomorrow people might say, because these people from India, you are giving them a special consideration. And we have a business initiative under the government. It's called Empire State Development. So they have a trade division in India. I think they are located in Chennai and Delhi. I'm meeting with those folks on 28th. But I think we can start with the town and county, because where we have more opportunity and contacts in the government, especially in the town. So because I'm seeing that a lot of foreign investors coming to our town, and also they are giving tax breaks to those companies because they are minorities, they are coming from a different country. So it's very easy to get a tax break for those companies because tax in New York City is huge. So those are the things I would be able to help with. When it comes to state, I have to stay behind the scene and help you guys. I cannot be a part of the discussions because that would become a conflict of interest. But I'm more than happy to explore the options for you guys, for sure.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you.
Next one is Parvati Nandakumar. What question do you have for sir?
Hear about your journey in New York State, and also about all the accomplishments that you could do. I did my bachelor's in the Fashion Institute of Technology. That was also a SUNY college based in Manhattan. So I was not aware of your presence during my time there. But had I known, it would have been such a pleasure to connect with you and work with you, and make some accomplishments that I had in my head on my own. So I'm taking this opportunity to connect, to reach out to you and ask about some initiatives. Like, do you have anything in mind that your team could do to help prospective students who would like to do their masters in New York City or New York State per se? It could be with a state university or something, because I was just talking to one of my coworkers yesterday, and they were speaking about being able to get admitted into top universities in America, but they were not able to get approved to go and start their education in the United States. It was related to some problem that they had with the consulate. So I'm guessing if it's one coworker that I know, there are many more people who would be facing that same issue, right? And Indians, as we know, they're great in STEM, not just STEM courses, but they have great heads and great brains. And we are known to be really strong in educational endeavors. So is there anything that your team could do to help prospective students get a better foothold and get education in America?
Thank you for it. It's a great question. So when it comes to admission process, it is exclusively handled by the administration. You know that when you get caught in the middle of the immigration process, either through the Indian, I don't think you need to talk to the Indian consulate when you come there as an F1 student. But if you are seeing a delay process, the process is getting delayed, please reach out to us. We can definitely talk to the Congress members in New York State, and if we can get any help to expedite the process, we can always do. I mean, I forgot to tell that I work with another organization called Team Aid, TEAMAID. So I'm the national coordinator for New York State. So what we do, for example, that you settle down in the US working for a technology company, there are a lot of people out there from India. They work there on probably they might be on F1 in the transition process to H1 on their OPT, right? So and also probably they are on their H1B, or even people who are on a green card citizenship. So they never face the situation that they're losing somebody in their family who is traveling from India, right? Their parents came, or their aunt came to visit their grandkids, or just to see America. So people lose their life. I mean, it could be an accident, it could be a heart attack, it could be anything. So those situations, nobody knows what to do. So we jump in, we make sure, depending on their religious beliefs, we connect those people. So maybe they want to do their cremation within the US, or maybe they want to ship their dead body to India. So in that process, probably they need a religious leader or a priest to talk to the family with all dignity and respect, make sure that dead body is getting transported to India or getting cremated there. So I take care of the coordination for Western New York. We probably shipped around 160 dead bodies in 2022 and 2021. Mainly that number increased because of COVID. Recently we helped with few accidents. So we don't disclose their information on social media or anywhere, but we work closely with the families and make sure that dead body is getting shipped. And we get a lot of help from the Indian consulate and the embassy for that process. So similar way, we work with federal senators and the Congress members for immigration issues. If you hear or if you see somebody in India, especially in New York State, having issues with immigration or they are going through some struggle, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help.
Sure. Thank you, Sibu. May I ask a follow-up question if you don't mind?
Sure.
So another portion would be, does your team do any help for students who've graduated from doing their master's or bachelor's to help with their transition to, being employed there? Not on their OPT, but just giving them advices, stuff like that.
Yes, we do. We help them with getting into OPT, because while they are in the transition process from F1 to H1B, we find potential employers for me. Recently, I helped a couple of students getting admitted to an OPT position with banks. So we share their resume with technology companies. I'm not saying that out of 10, I would be able to help 10, but probably 6 or 5. We definitely help students getting jobs. Yeah.
That makes sense. Thank you so much for answering my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay. So next one is Ashwati S. Nath. Please ask your question.
Yeah. Hi, sir. I'm Ashwati,
Hi.
a testing engineer in Reflections. First of all, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Really inspiring. So, I have one question now. What is a message for us, tech aspirants in Reflections?
I mean, message. I mean, I don't want to give a message on the technology front, but as an individual and as a proud Indian, I
Yeah.
think we all should get involved in the civic engagement and the community process because there's a lot we can do for the community. I mean, I talk to people all across state. People have ideas. They want to do things. Recently, there was a Muslim woman. She wanted to help female children in the community. Some of the individuals want to do homeschooling because they want to teach them their own language. So I told her, I mean, that is the same message I have for our people here. You know, get involved. I know it's a rat race in India when it comes to politics, job. There's a lot of pushback, not like America. America has, you know, the population is very low, so it's probably easy to navigate through the process. But I think you can. We are not giving back to the community. I mean, we all are successful people. We are not giving back to the community a lot. I mean, we all work 9 to 5, but what is our involvement in the community? What do we give back to the community? I mean, I studied in a small village here in Suriname. I'm fortunate enough that I could go to US. But there are a lot of kids out there. They have the potential to go. They have the brain. They are smart. But I don't think they have the right mentorship or guidance. So that is where you guys can help with. I mean, you all are technology gurus. I mean, why don't you form a small organization where you can uh, walk these, you know, the potential technology people through the process, help them out. Coding, that's one thing which is happening in the US. They're teaching these school kids coding, how to do coding. I don't know anything about coding, but I have seen that a lot of Indian Americans are setting up an not-for-profit organization trying to uplift our youth in terms of technology there. So get involved with the community, even in politics. I'm not saying which political party, but I think you should get involved and make sure when you become a politician, I think you should be definitely working for the community and making sure these legislations are made in favor of our community. So that is my suggestion. I mean, I have a passion to do it, so I hope you all can do that.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you, sir. So next one is Jitin Chaklikil. What question do you have for sir?
Hey, hi. So very good afternoon. It was nice to chat with you. In that, I feel one point before asking my question that I would like to share is that I would like to slightly or politely disagree on the point that you are not a tech savvy person. I feel you are a super tech savvy because when
Thank
I
you.
just drop the text, you are on dot in response without even knowing who is actually. So I think you are far ahead in that part. That is very sure that why you are driving at the helm like this. So now coming to my question, I have a few, but maybe I'll pitch my first here. This is mostly in line with your view on Indian leadership. Especially if we see yesterday there was news that the I think Ajya Banga was going to be taken by the World Bank. Then there was another recent news. I mean, obviously the other party might not be the Democratic side, but Republican Party, where the candidate is being positioned as Vivek Ramaswamy, who is again from Kerala. So a lot of Indians are at the helm of different corporates and also at heading the different countries first, even if you take UK for that matter, or maybe any of the conglomerates we take. And there is a lot of traction we see Indians being in the helm or leading many of the aspects. So I would like to know from your point of view, what shift that you observe when Indians build leaders for the world, or maybe what might be that innate traits that we could really evolve, or maybe your observations. So this is my first point.
I mean, I see a positive trend in New York State as well. I mean, I'm so proud to those who is leading UK and the World Bank lead who has been appointed by President Biden. I think they all started from the grassroots level. Probably we didn't know those folks. I mean, we have a Malayali. Of course, he grew up. He was born in Kerala, but he grew up in Dubai. Kevin Thomas. We have a Malayali senator in New York State. He started this grassroots level. I mean, doing small community events and helping those folks. He was a lawyer, so he did a lot of free legal service to the community. Then from there, the community recognized his efforts and leadership. So that's where he started the work. And that was the right time for him to run for. I mean, nobody expected that he would be a senator. And now I think this is his third term serving New York State as the first Asian American, Indian American serving. So it's hard to find time from our daily life, right? So we all are, it's a rat race. We have to be at 9 o'clock and we have to be home because of the family, kids, and we make sure that our kids are getting the right education. So, while we are prioritizing all these responsibilities, we don't find time. But I think I found time, so I think we all can do it. So I think we have to get involved. It could be a small thing. It doesn't have to be a huge, effort, but getting the like-minded people on the team and doing things. I mean, you all could be a leader in definitely in India. But there's a lot of potential in the youth. But look at our school. We don't have any political mentorship on our curriculum. I mean, in the US, in Western New York, I started something from 2016. We pull in high school going kids and college kids. When it is the time for election or campaign, we engage them with the political team and the campaign team, making sure that they get an opportunity to walk with the candidate door to door, handing over the literature, talking to the potential voters, making phone calls, help them in terms of technology, social media posting, mass emailing. It could be any political party. It doesn't have to be a Republican Party. It doesn't have to be a Democratic Party. So that way they get an opportunity. They also get a community hours, which is useful for their college admission. That is an added credential to their resume. So those are the things I do. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm an expert, but I would be able to give some guidance if anybody is interested to do that in India. I don't see that process here. We have super leaders and they have their own people, but I think we have to engage you. Everybody is a doctor and engineer. We want our kids to be engineers and doctors. I don't see anybody is grooming any of our kid or youth in the political path. So I think that is something we need to think about. We need new leaders. We need more females in the public service. We need more female politicians.
Maybe I would like to slightly refine and ask a bit more there. So my ask was, we at times may be seen as more of a conservative from a societal standpoint, but still there is something innate that triggers from us and let people accept at the leadership roles. So I'm sure there is something unique. I mean, whatever the diversity or maybe the conservative style or whatever might be the drawbacks we call out about Indians or maybe in our society. So you are working in a lot of community initiative. That's where I like to observe from your point of view whether there is some unique traits or the way we groom our children that really triggers them to evolve as leaders, maybe from a behavioral or behavioral science angle or in any needs. Just wanted to look at your observation.
I think in foreign countries mainly, I can talk about it, US. From the kindergarten itself, they have an opportunity to explore things, right? So they have an opportunity to visit. Recently, I know in the school in my town, they took a delegation to the state senate. So the kids who have an interest in politics and political process, they have an opportunity to go and talk to those elected officials, understand their views in politics, how they got into this position, and what kind of guidance they can give to these school students. I don't know, we have that kind of process. I think that needs to be included in our curriculum and in the school leadership. I think that's how it should start. And also, in the United States, I know there is definitely men look down to women in the US as well. But compared to other countries, I think everyone has an opportunity to explore their, opportunities in every aspect of life, uh, healthcare, politics, law, anywhere you want to be. If you have a dream, definitely it can be done in the US for sure. But you would see the pushback in certain areas. I mean, I feel it. Me being a brown guy in the US politics, especially in New York, we have a democratic state, but still there could be a pushback in certain process. They try to push you aside, which is a part of the game. But again, having patience and understand how to navigate that through that process, that's important. So
Thank
I
you
hope
so
I
much.
answered your question. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I think, yeah, I mean, you connected in that way is what I feel, because you were referring to the brown guy reference part. So I feel maybe we have already dealt with enough complexities from the way we have, I mean, dealt in
Yeah,
India,
I
that
mean,
might have been a
yeah,
way to
20,
groom our behavior to lead and leave out.
2018, I mean, there's an example I just wanted to bring up. 2018, I ran a campaign. I was the campaign manager for our county legislature, who happened to be a female. She's a lawyer. So the day my role has been announced on social media and in the news, next weekend it was a Easter weekend. Somebody walked up to my mailbox. Certain houses have a mailbox by the curb of the road. Somebody hand delivered a letter saying that take your brown army and leave the town. Then some slur words and threatening words. So then we had to report to the police. There were phone calls. So there is going to be pushback when somebody who doesn't look like them taking the lead or being supportive to the political party or certain leaders. That happens. So
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank you, sir. So we have time for only two more questions. Next, I see Sharath Case. Please ask your question.
Hi, sir. So my question is completely related with the politics of what is the politics of migrating the youngsters or middle-aged people from Kerala? Actually, I saw some news that the 30% of people are migrating from the from especially from Kerala. I mean, the youngsters to different countries, especially US and the UK. So as we know that the power of the strength of a country is these youngsters. So these people are migrating from our native to other, I mean, abroad. So what will be the issue that we need to face in next couple of years? So as a
I mean,
I mean, what is the political point of view that even there will be no people will, I mean, avail for the vote. I mean, you know,
are you talking about the immigration process to the US, or are you talking about the opportunities? I'm a little confused with that question.
I mean, people are migrating from for maybe for the better life or better schooling or education. These are the purpose mainly. People are migrating from Kerala. So it's about 30% of youngsters are migrating. I mean, this is the analytics for the last one year. So if it's happened, I mean, then what will be the life in Kerala? I mean, there will be no people. I mean, youngsters will get for these IT technologies that we have to make in India or make in Kerala.
I mean, dealing with the student population in the US, mainly in my area, I see there's a uh, huge number of students coming to the US mainly for engineering and computer science. I think a lot of Keralites coming. So mainly they're coming, definitely coming for the better opportunities. And there are a lot of L1 visas coming. So I personally dealt with few individuals. I mean, Kerala is well known to have the foreign money here anyway. So I think the issue in terms of getting the visa, I think people have bigger ambitions when they come to US as students. I mean, they want to get into the bigger universities. Some of them I was talking to, it's unlikely you will get into an Ivy League school in the US when you are an immigrant, right? And also in the medical field, a lot of doctors are coming from Kerala for residency and fellowship. I mean, you have to go through the residency for sure. So I think you shouldn't be looking for the Ivy League schools because, in my opinion, you are definitely wasting your time because there are a lot of citizens and green card holders. I'm talking about the immigrant population waiting there. So definitely the school would be giving an opportunity to those folks. I mean, that is pretty legal. So any university in the US, mainly in New York State, there are good schools. I think they should be targeting those schools. University of Buffalo, you can look it up, buffalo.edu. We have great programs for engineering and technology. University of Buffalo is well known for computer science. There's a 24 months program. Then we also have MIS, Masters in Information Science. 117 students. Recently, I met with some. There are 117 students. Out of 117 students, probably 115 are Indians. Out of 115, I would say probably more than 50% of the students are Malayalis. So, a lot of opportunities out there for technology, and those schools are good schools. I think we should give an opportunity to. I was here last few weeks. I talked to many students. I told all of them that, in India, I think the basic education is the best. Until 12, basic education is the best. There's no question about it. But the higher education, US is definitely the best option.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So there is time for just one more question. Mevin, what question would you have for sir?
Hi, sir. I'm Navin here.
Hi, how are
So
you?
I'd like to know who serves as your role model and why?
Who serves as my role model? Well,
Yep.
see, I'm a big fan of Barack Obama. So every time I go I drive to New York City from Buffalo sometimes. I'm allowed to take the flight or a state car, but I take my own car because I have more freedom to stop by in between, meet friends, people. So every time I drive to New York City, the only thing I listen to throughout my drive is Obama's speech. So his candidacy announcement, his victory speech, if you get an opportunity, I'm pretty sure many of you might have heard about it, but it is on YouTube. I mean, you feel it. And first African-American president. Of course, he has been criticized by, I'm not talking about the political party, but as a leader, he has done amazing things for United States. He was a great supporter of immigrants. The H-1B green card citizenship process was pretty good. He definitely gave an opportunity to skilled immigrants, mainly to Indians. So now the immigration process has been completely messed up. The current administration, Biden government, is trying to bring it back, but it's a process. We don't know. We don't know who is going to be in the office in 2020, 2023, 2024, I think, 2024. So I definitely admire and Obama as a great leader. Then, of course, I'm a big fan of Mahatma Gandhi. So I have a monument, so that explains how passionate I am about Mahatma Gandhi, mainly because of his non-violence principles and helping the community. So those are the two leaders I look up to. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, so last one person is there left, Prakash. So he would like to ask a question to you.
Sure.
Yeah, nice speech actually. I have a question regarding the security. security measures. So after September 11, the US government tightened the security. So as far as India is concerned, we have emergency response system. We have 112, we have 100, we have 1515 for women. But still, newspapers are writing crimes day by day. So in America, actually, I heard that people are safe, and so if you compare the US security measures and Indian security, so what improvement we required?
It's a tough question for me. I don't know how to answer. When it comes to security measures, I'm not sure. I really don't know, but if you can send me, I can definitely talk to the right people. I work with enforcement, FBI, cybercrime experts, and Asian affairs. I would definitely try to get you an answer for you. Please, I really like that question, but I don't have an answer right now. But I would definitely get an answer for you for sure.
Yeah, thank
Sorry
you.
about that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for answering the questions. So, I know many of you are waiting to ask the questions, but since time is precious, this session needs to wind up. Thank you for your engaging participation, and thank you, sir, for addressing all our questions and inspiring us by sharing with us so many lessons from your experiences.
Thank you.
I now invite Jitin Chakalikil to give a thank you note.
Yeah, thank you, Aishwarya. Thank you, Sibu, for sharing your thoughts. So I feel, I mean, we would have scheduled this for maybe a 2 hour session because we have a lot of questions coming up. And I feel, but from normal, the way we solve using technology, we got exposed more into the international affairs, I believe. Then maybe if we take a quick crux on from the session, I think community development was the key that you were driving, and that is your strong driving force is what we understand, and maybe a great trigger for all of us to contribute in whatever minimal means we can. So we do have a small arm within our organization, which we call as our reflections, through which we do try in whatever maybe the minimal means we can contribute back to the community. So maybe I mean we now should look much more what do we say rigorously to contribute back. So this is a great inspiration for us. Then I think the chai initiative that you had. A lot of what do we say? A lot of gut or courage that is required to really showcase the culture, arts, and heritage uh, of Indians in the America. And I mean, glad that there is a lot of acceptance for us Indians there. And I mean, thanks for your initiatives on the domestic violence support, which I was reading something about the association that you had with the Palakkad Management Association and calling out the initiatives of Vishwas, I believe, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So that I feel it's evolving well. So a lot of comfort that we'll get for the immigrants, because if you look at the trend, it's almost from close to 10 lakh. If you take the last 1 decade, the immigrant count has raised from 17 lakh to 27 lakh based on the stat. So thank you so much for accepting the invite and interacting with the technology management minds of reflections. And we, we are close to some 400, 450 crew, and we strongly believe we are a small team with a big company mindset. That's our, leader Deepa always, trigger us, and that's a true fact. So we would want to share that with you also. And we work slightly beyond the contract. So our commitment, we always showcase beyond the contract. And we are always eager and willing to associate in long-term relationships. I think you were referring to something about the technology hub as well. So sometimes we hope that would evolve, and maybe we can work on some of the synergies. We are really excited to showcase our technology capabilities to you. I don't know how far is your schedule in this visit. So if you have some time, maybe with assuming the permission from Deepa and leaders, that our practice heads and technology leads would be very, very happy to have an interaction with you on a separate separately, where we will be able to explore possibilities of business synergies that would leverage the what do we say, the community development or the technology specific development in the function that you are driving on. And we have also, though a small team, we have also showcased ourselves as a, strong grip in the ability to scale fast, though we being a small organization. So thank you so much again. And I would like to extend the thanks to our leaders and also to the L&D team and the facilitators who really supported us. So on a closing note, Sibu, we wish and hope Reflections eventually evolve as a technology partner to enable the technology initiatives that you might be looking at the Buffalo City. I hope sometime our paths would cross. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you. I just wanted to add on to what you said about Vishwas. So Vishwas, we are planning to have a local chapter in town of Amherst, where I live, because we have been thinking about opening an organization to rescue this domestic violence victim, but the kind of work Vishwas is doing. So I committed that we will definitely open a local chapter. And also Palakkad town, they would like to have a, actually I brought up the topic. So we are planning to have this sister city initiative between Palakkad and my town. So it could be used for cultural exchange, technology, whatever we could do. Probably bring folks from the leadership in Palakkad, or maybe the Western Europe delegation can travel to Palakkad. So those are the things we're planning for. I just want to be as a connecting factor between these, these leaders. Same thing with Reflections. If you were, I'm leaving on the 27th to Delhi. I have a few meetings there, then I'm flying back to Mumbai, then from there to US. But definitely we can schedule a meeting with our town leadership, with your leaders, if we want to take this discussion to another level. More than happy to do that. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for that commitment, Sibu. Yeah. Thank you all.
You.
Thank
I
you.
truly
Thank
appreciate the time, and thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We look forward to meeting you again.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Connect with me on, please connect with me on Facebook, and check out Chai's page. I think Mary said I need to talk about picture she found on Instagram, me with Mammootty. Nothing big about it. I was in Mumbai doing my master's. I heard about Mammootty. I walked up to Bandra and he was there. He was kind enough to pose for a picture. So I still have that picture. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great day. Bye.